Good afternoon, everybody. You've just got me today. You're going to have to just put up with me. But we have got some excellent clips for everyone this afternoon. Thank you all so much for joining us. Please do remember we are live and interactive on this show. Welcome to Wild Moments. It's here for everyone. And we've already got some hellos coming in thick and fast. Let's see who we have got today. Amber, I never know if you're Amber Co or Amber CO. Hello and thank you. Please tell the Zoomy team how much they are appreciated. I agree with you 100%. Their gifts of time and talents bring so much for us all to marvel at and enjoy every single day. Well done for saying that, Amber Co. I couldn't agree more. They really do a fantastic job of controlling those cameras that they can capture brilliant clips for that we're going to have a look at in the show today. Jack DeBoer, good morning, guys, and good morning from Virginia. Good morning, stroke good afternoon. Good morning where you are, Jack DeBoer. Casper's third ghost, good morning, afternoon. Good morning, Casper's third ghost. Kelly, and already for cattails with a hot coffee. I've also got a coffee today, which is unusual. Temperatures have definitely dropped considerably here in the Lowveld. It's still a delightful, probably 24, 25 degrees. But tolerable for a cup of coffee. So I am joining you in that today. Dean NC, hello from Seattle. Thank you for being here, Kelly. It's my pleasure. Thank you for being here as well. Ready with a hot cup of coffee. As I said, I'm also on the coffee today. Oh, we've got everyone here today. Thank you all so much for being here. Onsongro, I hope I've pronounced that right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, back at you. You are very, very welcome. Thank you for joining us. Zygote, hello. Namaste to you too, Zygote. Thank you so much for joining us. Jean Gale, hello from Seattle-ish. I'm curious, Seattle-ish, is that just outside of Seattle? You did not oversleep and you have hot coffee. Excellent. Well done, Jean Gale. Thank you for taking the time to get up and joining us on today's Wild Moment show. Bridget McKinney, hi Kelly. Hello Bridget, thank you for being here. MG Leopard Spots, hi all, happy Friday evening. It is 4 in the afternoon here in South Africa. I was just momentarily distracted. I seem to have, I've got a resident juvenile little sparrowhawk that I've seen in the garden 3 or 4 times now. It took me a while to work out exactly what it was, quite unusual colouring to an adult little sparrowhawk. And he just caught something about a minute before you all came to me. And I was watching, I'm not sure what he caught. I was going to go and grab the binoculars, but I ran out of time. So that's very exciting. If I'm distracted, I apologise. It's probably my juvenile little sparrowhawk. April Owl, good morning, everyone from foggy Connecticut. Good morning, April Owl. Thank you for being here. Happy to be here with your blueberry iced tea and you are ready for the show, as am I, April L. And Tammy says, hello, everyone. Hello back at you, Tammy. Please all feel free to let us know where you are, what you're up to, if you have any questions about any of the clips or anything else. I will do my utmost best to try and answer them, but I also will not tell fibs. If I have no idea what the answer is, I will be completely honest because we all have Google now. And if I don't know, the best thing to do is go away and check and come back and let everyone know. But anyway, thank you all for being here. Let's get into the show and have a look and see what clip we have got coming up first. Okay, I've had a bit of information about these lions. Apparently they had just killed a wildebeest. This is at Nkoro. And we have a maneless male. I'm getting increasingly less confident about sexing animals these days because I've got it wrong on occasion. This is I believe a maneless male that must be the one at the back there. This boy who's just put his bottom to us is definitely a male. We can thank you very much for demonstrating that, boy. And there we go. There we have it. This is 2 male lions. neither of whom have manes. Now look what they're doing here. I didn't actually notice if either of them scent marked, but we often see cats and dogs, domestic dogs, your domestic dog might do this at home, scratching up soil or dirt or ground, whatever that may be. And that's often, it's believed to be, this is really interesting behavior. It helps to ingrain scent. So scuffing sort of turns the soil over, which will maybe make that scent last longer. But that was a poop. Poop is also scent. It's not necessarily considered to be scent marking, but it's not scent. Oh, it's not scent marking. It's all messages. It's all communication with other animals, with other lions in the area, and that was really interesting behavior. So this male without a mane, the one that's on the left of the screen here, to be honest, if I hadn't seen his testicles, I would have struggled to believe it was a male. It's not particularly common to see male lions without at least a little smattering of mane. It's not impossible. It's believed to be, there can be lots of factors that can cause it. One of them is genetics. So if there's a lineage of, it's similar to anything else that's genetic, changes in coloration, deformities, that sort of thing, they can all be classified as being genetic. So the manelessness in male lions can be classified as being genetic. Also, it can be to some extent environmental. It's not common. I've never seen in the flesh, I've never seen a maneless male lion. I think one of the most famous groups or areas where there were relatively frequently seen maneless males was Tsavo National Park. So, and because that was a genetic thing, obviously those genes perpetuated and there were more maneless males seen in the area. It's not common, but obviously not impossible. I'd love to know the lineage of those lions. I do not know the lineage of those lions and whether or not anyone else in their lineage had been maneless before. It's the same as male lions we see with those big black manes. That again is genetic. So big black manes, no manes, they're both genetic, not adaptations, not defects, caused by genetics basically. But that's very interesting to see. Mindy Tillipau, you're asking, is the one blind in one eye? I did not notice. Maybe we could go back, if we could have another quick look at that clip. Maybe we can see. Okay, I see what you mean, Mindy. Is this one that's drinking the eye that's furthest away from us? So that reflection on the eyes is caused by the tapetum lucidum. It's like a reflective shield, that's the wrong word, layer sort of behind the eye that helps with that reflection. Yeah, that's, oh no, did I get a flash of eye shine then? Huh. Well noticed, Mindy. I didn't pick that up. I was too busy thinking about bits and pieces of manelessness. Whether or not that, I would actually really like to see this lion during the day. If anyone that's watching has watched these lions on a regular basis in the daytime, I would love to know what that his left eye looked like in the daytime. It could be that there is an eye in there, but it's maybe been damaged, that reflective part of the eye has been damaged, which is why it's not reflecting eye shine. But that's really well noticed. But look at this scuffing. Yawning gap, are they siblings? I'm not sure, to be honest. Like I said, I don't know the makeup of these lions here at Nkoro. They're from the Torchwood Pride. There's lots of people that are very, very good at identifying these family trees and these family genetics of different lions. But that's, yeah, look at that eye. I would firstly, if anyone's seen this young male with minimal mane during the day, I would love to see what that eye looks like. And also anyone that's watching, if you can give me any information on whether or not these two siblings, the one on the left now looks bigger to me, but it could be that they're siblings and one is siblings of different sizes. Tim, could a female lion grow a mane? Yes, she could. I can't remember where or when it was I saw it, but I'm convinced I have seen or heard of a female lion or a lioness who had a mane. Again, it could be genetic. Manes are often the testosterone is also involved in the production of manes. It could be that she had very high testosterone levels, but there's always idiosyncrasies and differences and things that are a little bit unexpected that happen in nature. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, Tim, where or when that was, but I'm pretty sure I have heard of a lioness with a mane before. And also, there's been cases of female impalas who've been seen with horns. Nature has these funny ways of these little changes, and that is how evolution works. You know, if you have one animal that's slightly lighter or darker than another, and one is more successful than the other, and then that perpetuates, then the animal that was more successful, their genes will carry through, and that's basically how evolution happens. So it's possible. I can't tell you off the top of my head where it was though, Tim. RGRPGH. I've got no idea how to say that. Does not having a mane put those male lions at a disadvantage within the community? Bob, maybe your name's Bob and not Gurf. Bob, yes, I would say. It is normally, if mane's created from testosterone, the higher testosterone, the more successful that male's going to be. He'll have more breeding rights. He'll be more dominant. Disadvantage for breeding, I would say yes. However, a couple of possible positives that could come out with having less of a mane. One could be that maybe other males don't see him as much of a threat. So if there were interactions, he might get less brutalized by the other males because they might mistake him for a female or possibly perceive him as, okay, this guy hasn't got a big mane, he's not a problem. And another possible advantage might be people often say that females do all the hunting. They definitely don't do all the hunting. It's easier for females to hide in the grass. They're less obvious. They camouflage better. They haven't got that big mane that's also flapping around. Males will often get involved in hunts they can hunt for themselves, or they might get involved if they needed brute body strength. But that male without a mane, he will have the body strength of a male lion and the power and the weight behind him of a male lion, but will be more easily camouflaged if he's stalking something. So breeding, I would say possibly disadvantaged. Possible advantage might be he might slink under the radar of other males, and possible hunting advantage as well. So there's fors and againsts of all of those things, but really, really interesting. And I'll be very keen to see what relationships develop within that pride and what happens. And I'd love to see if he is indeed blind, whether or not we can get any information on that lion during the daytime. Wow, that was long. Okay, let's move on to the next clip. Let's see who we have got. But that's very interesting to watch, that male lion with no mane. Okay, the background I've got on this is the male nyala. Nothing is eating it. We're not aware of anything that has happened to this male nyala. The information I have, it seems to have just dropped. I would be fascinated to know if we had footage of the exact moment this nyala did pass away, it could be that it could be old age. Okay. Let's look and see what's happening. Is that another nyala looking at it? Huh, that male nyala is looking at the dead one. Without doing an autopsy or something, I would have absolutely no idea what caused this male nyala to be deceased. It could be old age, but remember, animals have an uncanny ability to mask weakness. So could it could have been a heart attack, but apparently nothing is fed on this nyala. Is it coincidence that nothing's found it? Possibly. But we do know that lots of these scavengers have an amazing sense of smell, but it's not been opened, remember? So it might not be giving off too much of a scent. I'm going to be interested to see exactly how it progresses, if anything does find it, if anything does start feeding on it. It could have, there could be something wrong with its heart. It could be, it could have some disease. It was masking. This is the mystery of it. But I would be fascinated to see. We've obviously got quite a nice camera angle on that deceased male nyala, and I think it's going to be fascinating to see if anything does come and feed on it. But it happens. I think one of the, I'm just trying to remember. I heard, and don't quote me on it, very often things don't feed on things that have been struck by lightning, unless I'm mistaken. Maybe that's a myth. I'm just going through my memory banks of why carcasses have been known to be left alone. It could just be a fluke that no one smelt it. It's not been opened. Maybe when it does start to decompose, it will be giving off more of a smell. Zygote, you're saying snake bite. Possibly. That's actually a really good call. I didn't think of that. It could well be snake bite. And to be honest, I'm surprised. Oh, the thing is, we wouldn't know though, would we? We often wouldn't really know unless, if we see something killing something, then we know that that's what happened. But unless we see something happening, it's very difficult to know one way or the other. And I'm surprised we don't come up with that theory more often. But yeah, it would have been very interesting to see the lead up to that scenario. And also very interesting to see if anything does find that carcass. What a mystery. We have another mystery given to us by nature. Okay, let's have a look at the next clip. I'm sure we will keep an eye on that male nyala carcass to see if anything does come of it. But let's see what we've got coming up in the next clip. Everyone loves a baby. Oh, look. So this is Naledi Dam. That must be quite frustrating, that little one trying to drink out of that that high water there. It managed to get, I don't know if it's managed to get up and get its trunk is wet. You can see nicely there that trunk's been in there. Oh, elephants are actually a lot more agile. Is agile the right word? Maneuverable than we often give them credit for. I'm interested to see if he's going to get up here. I think even if he got up here, I don't think he's going to reach. But that really reminds me of a little kid trying to grab some sweets off the top of a kitchen counter or something. It must be so frustrating to know that water's right there, but can't quite reach it. Oh, don't you just want to give him a box? Bridget McKinney, you're asking, could the Anyala blow up from the gases? Um, yeah, I guess. Um, I have heard stories of carcasses blowing up, often when they've been interrupted, but maybe they do, but we just don't normally get a chance to see that happening. Oh, is he gonna? Are you gonna? No, that concrete wall's quite thick. I'm not sure he would have got up there even if he'd managed to get his little feet on that ledge there. But elephants, I think elephants are more maneuverable than we give them credit for a lot of the time. I've seen elephants do some, well, I've seen them in some strange places, let's put it that way. Mindy, you are saying got to give him an A for effort. Absolutely. Yeah, he was really trying his best there. Yawning Gap, that's a very cute little baby. How old is Cutie? Good question. I'm getting less and less confident in aging and sexing animals. That little one, probably less than a year, less than 8 months, somewhere around there. I find it quite difficult to gauge a scale of size on animals on these cameras. Less than a year, I would say less than a year old. But it can be quite difficult I find it quite difficult to age animals sometimes. Unless you can, I think I once heard if they're less than a year old, elephants can pass under mum's tummy. So can we go back and have another little look at that clip? Let's see if this little one could have passed under mum's belly. Yeah, yeah, just about. Okay, I'm gonna stick with somewhere around about a year maybe. But if you look, he hasn't got bad control of his trunk there. Not brilliant. But when they're very, very young, they no concept. Yeah, I'm going to say less than a year. Not, he doesn't look super fluffy. From what I can see anymore, they do start to lose that fuzz. But you see, he can do stuff with that trunk, not brilliantly. So Yawning Gap, I'm going to say less than a year. But yeah, I've seen some elephants in some very strange places, high on hillsides, and the only way they would have got up there would have been to go up steep, sort of almost cliff faces. There's an amazing area in Gonarejo as well. I think it's down the Chilo Cliffs, and elephants have made a path, and they're called cliffs for a reason. They're more able to move over difficult terrain than I think we often give them credit for. But that little one was unsuccessful, bless him. Okay, let's move on to the next clip. I'm actually looking forward to seeing this one. I don't get to see the clips before the show, so let's have a look at the next one and see who we have. This is it looks like a young leopard. Big feet for a youngster. That is beautiful. And this is a Serendella. This is the cub that belongs to the VW female. And I've actually seen the VW female when I was guiding in Thorny Bush there, but this is from Serendella. My ex-tracker is actually guiding at Serendella now. Hi, Alf, if you're listening. I'm sure you're probably not. I'm sure you're on Game Drive. But that little cub's having a good hard think, hey? What a lovely image. I'm peering back. I'm not actually sure if you can see me at the top of the screen while we're watching these clips, but I peer. I feel like I'm peering straight into this youngster's face. And like any young Erica, I've just been reliably informed that you can't see me, which is excellent news because I go right up to the screen. I feel like I'm peering. Oh, look at that. Not sure, hey? I'm surprised at how big those feet are. Those feet look huge to me. Which would sway me towards this possibly being a young male, but don't quote me on it. But like many young animals, this leopard's curious. And this is how young animals, young humans, oh, oh, I wonder who the zoomy was that was operating this. Definitely having a think. Not too sure. But obviously not frightened. This looks to me like curiosity curiosity and a cat. Who was it that was hoping for cat's tails? This is brilliant footage. Oh no. Maybe I'll leave it. That was brilliant. That's such cool footage. And curious young leopard. As we know, they often get themselves into lots of trouble. Some of these young animals, leopards and lions alike. Curiosity, cats, often not a good idea. But what a brilliant clip that was to film. That would have been so cool being the zoomy, observing that interaction. I've lost. I wonder. I'm not sure if anyone can tell us how often we lose cameras. I've lost two trails cameras to hyena before. One of them I never saw hide nor hair of it. I just found a chewed rope. And the second one, they found the estate manager found a camera, and I managed to get the memory card out of it. And the last picture was just of a hyena's mouth like this. You could see that camera was not going to make it. Yawning Gap can see the infrared. Oh, can it see the infrared of the camera lens? Is that why it looks at the camera? Possibly. I've Zygo, I think, possibly heard the motor. Also, there is, it's glass. It might have been a little bit reflective. I don't think they can see that. Can they see the infrared light? I don't think so. I think it was probably more likely the motor, or even just the sort of shiny bit of glass over the camera there. And Yawning Gap, stunning, even in black and white. I actually think it's more impactful in black and white. I think it's a beautiful image. Okay, well, from curious leopard cub to, I think we've just got time for one more quick clip to have a quick checkup on our new mama and see how these little cubbies are doing. I must actually make note the day that these young ones were born. Oh dear. They're growing so fast, eh? That they're moving around more. Okay, they're 2 weeks old now. Mum's not there, but of course in the wild, mum will be off finding food. We must watch these little ones and see how their personalities develop. I don't know if anyone, I would assume not, if anyone has worked out if we've got boys or girls here. They've got I've never noticed how dark the front of their legs are. Their front legs are very, very dark, aren't they? Oops, look at the fire down the front of their legs. The front of their back legs and the front of their front legs. It's very, very dark. Definitely starting to get more mobile. I think their eyes are probably at 2 weeks. Their eyes are probably open now. Starting to explore. Soon we'll start seeing that mantle, that wash of white that we see on young cheetah cubs, but brilliant that Tammy and her little ones across there at HESC are doing so well. And what a great opportunity to be able to keep an eye on them all, that whole family, as they grow and develop. We must watch for those little personalities to shine. Thank you all so much for joining this afternoon. We had some brilliant clips. I definitely think my favorite was that young leopard cub just gazing up at the camera, learning about its world. What a brilliant clip. But thank you all so much for joining us. We will be with you again, same time next week. And until then, enjoy the rest of your day.